Hey athletes, in this comprehensive guide, we will talk about the importance of carbohydrates in different scenarios and playing times. And understanding how to optimize your intake is key to your performance. Carbohydrates are your main source of fuel, especially during intense physical activity, such as racket sports. So the amount of carbohydrates that you need depends on the activity level and duration of play. So for a low intensity level of play, that would be less than an hour, you would need 3 to 5 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight. For a more moderate intense training that would be 60 to 75 minutes long, you would need 5 to 7 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight. For a higher intensity level of play from 1 to 3 hours a day, you would need 6 to 10 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight. And lastly, if you have very high intensity training, that's about 4 to 5 hours a day, you would need about 8 to 12 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram. Now, let's understand how to calculate your carbohydrate needs. So the first step is to see what type of activity level are you engaging in. Is it low intensity, moderate intensity, high intensity? How many hours are you playing? And next, weigh yourself in kilograms or take pounds and divide them by 2.2. So once you have your weight and your activity level, all you need to do is multiply your kilograms for the grams of carbohydrates that you need depending on your activity level. So an example would be if I weigh 60 kilograms and I do a moderate intensity level of play, that would be 5 to 7 grams per kilogram. So I would just multiply the 60 times the 5, that would be 300. And then the 60 times the 7, that would be 420. So I would have a range of 300 to 420 grams of carbohydrates per day. So now you would need a tool like MyFitnessPal so that first you can see how many carbs you're eating currently, and then you're gonna compare it to the range that is optimal for your performance. So if you're under eating carbohydrates, make sure to start at the lower end of the range and then work yourself up from there and see how you're feeling at that level of play. When you're playing a tournament, you should aim for the very high intensity range of carbohydrates just because you need to replenish your glycogen levels as soon as possible, and you may need to be playing more than one match per day. So that means you should try to aim for at least 8 grams per kilogram of body weight of carbohydrates per day. So what does that mean? Well, that means you're gonna have to plan ahead and make sure that you're eating snacks in between your matches, as well as make sure you're having adequate carbs before, after, and during your matches. When in altitude training, your carbohydrate needs are gonna increase because your metabolism increases as well when you're at high altitude. So make sure that you're eating not just the right amount of carbs, but the right amount of calories to compensate for that altitude. Carbohydrates are the foundation for your sports nutrition. Proper carbohydrate intake not only helps you recover from your performance, but it also fuels your performance. Nutrition plays a vital role in your performance and your success. Whether you're playing a short match, an intense one, or a lengthy tournament, carbohydrates are the key component to your sports nutrition strategy.